What's up, guys? Today I'm going to explain to you how to create an iOS dev build of your React Native application so you can put it on your iPhone, iPad, whatever iOS device you have. I did a little write-up of this on the README in the GitHub repo, but unfortunately some of the stuff isn't exactly necessary anymore because I added some debugging steps in here, but I realized that as long as you keep your React Native version up to date and your Expo version up to date, you're not going to run into any of these problems. So please, 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 if there's anything you take away from this, make sure you have React Native updated and Expo updated before you try to make any sort of build of your React Native app. But the rest of this is still pretty valid, so I'm going to go through it real quick. So what you're going to do is you're first going to start off in your terminal. I'm using Ghosty, by the way. I was using Warp in the past, didn't have a good experience with it. It was kind of laggy, but so far Ghosty has been a pretty solid terminal emulator. Super quick, super snappy, and then I'm just using Oh My Geesh as a layer on top of it. But to get started, you're going to go ahead and run pnpm exec expo prebuild. Now, what this command will do is it'll create the native application files that you need to compile to iOS and Android. And so this command will go ahead and spit out two directories, an iOS and an Android directory. I'm not going to run it today because I already have those directories, as you can see here, iOS and Android. It is important to note, though, that when you update any sort of packages or anything like that, you will probably have to delete these two directories and run expo prebuild again to make sure that those new packages are in each of these native application directories. After you've run that, now you're going to go ahead and run this command, and we're just going to copy this over. It's this expo export command right here. So you're going to take that, paste it in, and this is going to run a Metro bundler. And what this will do is it'll compile all of the JavaScript and React Native code that you have and put it into a single file that can then be attached to your iOS or Android app. So this went by pretty quick. Honestly, depending on which Mac you have, this may or may not take longer, but just be patient and it'll spit it out and let you know when it's done. So we can just double check by cding into the iOS app, iOS directory, listing all the files in there, and we can see main.js bundle is in there. Now from here, what you're going to do is you're going to do open and open this in Finder. You're going to double click and open the file with the .xc workspace extension. And this will open up Xcode. I actually already have this project opened up, and so we're just going to go over here to Xcode. And here, this is going to look familiar if you've worked in any sort of iOS development before. But the main thing that we're going to look for here is we're going to make sure that in citing capabilities, we have a team selected. So by default, this will have none. Just make sure that you have your personal account selected. You can use your normal like iOS account, your iCloud account, and you don't have to pay for a developer license for this. And then just make sure that you click automatically manage signing, and that'll handle all that stuff for you. And for now, you can go ahead and leave this bundle identifier as default because we only really need to mess with this when we deploy to the App Store. Now, the next thing that we're going to look at is build phases. And specifically, we're going to look at the copy bundle resources phase. As you can see, this is the stuff that's going to be copied over into your application. Right now it has 4 items, and what we can tell is that we're missing our main.js bundle file. And so that's critical because basically that's what has all of our JavaScript, and that's what makes it so that our application can run locally on the device without having to be connected or having a separate server running to run all the JS. So we're going to go ahead and add that file in, and you can do that by first dropping down this directory here and going to the subdirectory of our application, so My Little Jimbro, and click Add Files to My Little Jimbro. And here we can go ahead and select the main.js bundle, click Add. And this is really important. What you're going to do for action, make sure it just references the files in place. Don't do move or copy, just keep it as reference and just keep that default, and then go ahead and click Finish. And what you'll notice is that it'll put that file right there in this directory and also add it into our copy bundle resources phase. So once you have that, you should be good to go. Your JavaScript should now be copied over into your application. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at our scheme and edit it. And then the only thing you have to do here is make sure that the build configuration is set from debug to release. And so by doing this, you're making sure that the app is executable by itself and it can run standalone on your iOS device. So we're going to hit close. And then once all that's done, all you have to do is click this run button here, and it should start to build it on your iOS device. Just make sure that the target device is your iOS device. Don't do any iOS simulators or anything like that. And make sure that your iPhone is in dev mode and that you are um, allowing and authenticating any sort of applications that come from your group developer. So this right here. So once you have those figured out, then you can click run and it should load up on your phone and you should be able to use it. Keep in mind that because this is a dev build, it'll expire every 7 days. And so you're going to have to either fully release your app, or if you want to continue testing, you're just going to go ahead and go through this process again and just reinstall or run your app again on Xcode and put it on your iOS device. But hopefully these were helpful, and hopefully this will help you guys put your React Native app on your iPhone. I'll see you guys later.